Urban mobility is unforgiving. If a user requests a ride and your app stalls for even 5 seconds, they will close it and download a competitor. Speed and reliability are absolute requirements. This chart shows exactly how fierce the competition is getting. Between 2024 and 2025, the global ride-hailing market grew by 28%. That growth triggered a massive supply response. In 2025 alone, over 1,800 new taxi and cab booking apps launched worldwide to chase that demand. Users have been conditioned by the massive incumbents to expect a flawless experience. If your platform miscalculates a fare or drops a GPS signal, you lose that user permanently. The barrier to entry today is entirely technical. For a founder entering this space in 2026, pouring money into a marketing budget before you have a rock-solid infrastructure is a mistake. Your survival depends on selecting a technology partner capable of delivering serious scale from day one. When it comes to building that platform, founders usually face two risky options. You can hire a massive legacy enterprise agency and spend a year waiting for development, missing your market window. Or you can buy a cheap, pre-built white label clone that will inevitably buckle under real traffic. There is an aggressive alternative, specifically targeting startups. GrowRankers is a hyper-growth development agency stepping directly into that gap. Though founded recently in 2024, they have already delivered over 150 software products. That volume reveals a team built entirely around execution speed. Their central claim is that they deliver enterprise-grade architecture, complete with AI matching and independent microservices, but on timelines and budgets suited for early-stage companies. To evaluate that claim, we need to bypass the marketing copy and objectively dissect their development methodology. We need to see exactly how they build and who actually benefits from it. Their entire process relies on an absolute commitment to an MVP-first framework. They restrict the initial build strictly to essential features, like reliable ride booking and real-time GPS tracking. By ruthlessly cutting scope, they compress the development cycle from 12 months down to just 3 to 5 months. The trade-off is abandoning complex vanity features for launch. Elements like multi-tier loyalty programs or advanced predictive analytics are deliberately sidelined. This strategy preserves capital. Getting a working product into users' hands quickly allows a startup to validate the business model with real-world feedback, saving the remaining runway for post-launch marketing and iteration. On the engineering side, GrowRankers avoids hiring separate, siloed teams for iOS and Android. Instead, they build using modern cross-platform frameworks like Flutter and React Native. This approach produces a single code base that deploys simultaneously to both Apple and Android ecosystems. It drastically cuts initial development costs and accelerates update times. There is a technical compromise. You sacrifice the absolute maximum theoretical performance achievable by writing pure native code in Swift or Kotlin. However, for a ride-hailing interface, that theoretical performance gap is virtually imperceptible to the end user. The cost efficiency makes cross-platform engineering the superior strategic choice for budget-conscious founders. Their back-end infrastructure relies on Node.js and AWS, deliberately architected using independent microservices. Because the services operate independently, the system automatically scales to absorb sudden 10x traffic spikes, like during a downpour, without dragging the platform offline. This introduces severe back-end complexity and ties you to continuous fluctuating cloud hosting costs based directly on user volume. While it adds a recurring expense, a back-end that refuses to crash when competitors go down during peak demand drives long-term user retention. GrowRankers also integrates machine learning models, specifically utilizing tools like TensorFlow Lite for intelligent driver-passenger matching and zone-based demand prediction. When operating at scale, these integrations increase fleet efficiency, they reduce passenger wait times, and maximize driver earnings by anticipating where demand hits next. The reality is, these models are practically useless at launch. They require massive datasets of historical user behavior to make accurate predictions. Artificial intelligence in ride-hailing is a long-term scaling play for mature platforms, not a day-one magic bullet. Founders need to plan for a delayed return on investment for these specific features. GrowRankers represents a specific breed of post-2024 agency. They trade legacy corporate history for hyper-speed execution and highly modern tech stacks. This chart maps out exactly where they sit in the competitive landscape. We evaluate this based on your available budget on the horizontal axis and your need for a custom, scalable platform on the vertical. The two extremes are clear. Cheap, rigid white label scripts are clustered in the bottom left, and massive, highly expensive legacy enterprise firms dominate the top right. Their MVP-first model drops GrowRankers securely into the top left center quadrant. They offer high custom scalability on a moderate startup budget. The perfect match for this agency is a bootstrap tech founder or a regional taxi fleet operator moving online. If you have $15,000 to $30,000 and need a working MVP in 4 months to validate your market, they are your target. Conversely, if you are a multinational logistics giant requiring the safety of a 15-year corporate vendor track record, or a buyer with a $3,000 budget looking for an unscalable template, they are the wrong fit. In the rapidly expanding on-demand economy of 2026, speed to market is your greatest operational asset. Choosing an agency like GrowRankers is a calculated trade. You sacrifice decades of agency legacy to gain aggressive execution speed, which is exactly the leverage a modern startup needs to survive.